Who are you, what's your role, and where do you work?
Yeah, so my name is Eli Birger. I'm CTO and co-founder of Perfect Scale. Prior to that, I've spent many years managing platform, DevOps, infra teams. I've built large-scale systems. And I'm very passionate about performance and resiliency, efficiency in general. So this is why we built Perfect Scale.
What are 3 emerging Kubernetes tools that you're keeping an eye on?
The first one is Dapr.
Yep.
The second one is obviously Argo CD, the amazing one, and Prometheus, which helps everyone.
So, on the subject of over-provisioning, one of our podcast guests, Alexander, wrote an article about over-provisioning. What strategies have you found effective in controlling over-provisioning in large Kubernetes clusters?
Yeah, so everything starts with observability. However, you must have dedicated tools for that. Otherwise, you have the ocean of metrics, of ephemeral containers that running on ephemeral machines. Matching all this together is very Sisyphic and titanic work. And what we are doing in this exact field is helping you to get the answers. You all have all the data, but what you're looking for is the answer, what I need to do now.
Governance, requests, and limits. Alexander stated that being conservative on requests can be painful in large clusters. How do you approach resource allocation in environments with many uncontrolled workloads?
So first of all, our automation moves the uncontrolled workloads into controlled workloads. Having the requests and limits set correctly is crucial. What we see across the board is somewhere around 30 to 60% of resources are completely wasted, but at the same exact time, in the same exact clusters, 15 to 20% of workloads experiencing all the time issues like out of memory, eviction, throttling, and in many situations leading to the loss in performance or broken SLAs.
Automation and resource management. Alexander expressed that having an automated mechanism is better than enforcing processes. What automation tools or approaches do you recommend for managing Kubernetes resources?
Yeah, so obviously I'm recommending our tool. And what's very different with the automation that we are doing, we're taking into account a lot of different parameters. So the cost savings is not the only one. The more important one is, first of all, you want to run your cluster smoothly. You want to ensure your SLAs. And this is where you need to ensure that you have enough resources. And this is way before you're actually starting to reduce unneeded resources. Second thing is still focus on reducing resources, because you're not only saving money, you're reducing the CO2 emissions that you have. And at the end of the day, we all share the same planet, so it's important.
Kubernetes turned 10 years old this year. What should we expect in the next 10 years to come?
In the next 10 years to come, first of all, the most important one is the ability to fractionally use GPUs. That's one of the biggest pains today. The GPU are pretty much unvirtualized, and you use them raw. This does not make any sense. The second is better efficiency for infrastructure. Today, the auto-scaling is a problematic one. Why? Because it's very, very slow. When you have to react to high spikes quickly, unfortunately, Kubernetes does not provide it very well. What I would expect is efficiency as efficient as Lambda.
What's next for you?
We are working right now on GPUs. That's a big thing we see across the board, that more and more companies using GPU, and this is a huge waste area and huge performance improvement area that needed. Then we're moving towards improving the Carpenter. Carpenter is great. It shifted the entire optimization world to open source and great tool, but it's still reactive. And what we would like to have is a little bit more of logic around that. So we're definitely going to improve this area.
How can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so perfectscale.io, www.perfectscale.io. I'm also available obviously on LinkedIn, and we'll be happy to chat about optimization, efficiency, and improvements.